Hi everyone, it's Max and welcome to a new week's reading vlog and welcome to a 24-hour reading vlog. So today is the 1st of January. Happy 2021 everyone. And I decided I've got the day off from work, it's Friday, and I'm gonna do a 24-hour readathon where I will read as many arcs as possible. I have many, a lot that come out in January that are on my TBR, but I'm not gonna go through all of them because I am gonna do a little bit of mood reading and like what comes out when. But the first one I'm gonna read is Court of Swans by Melanie Dickerson because I am already reading it. This is a retelling of, I'm not sure the myth, but a girl's 7 brothers are accused of killing her father and they're sent to the Tower of London, and she goes to become a seamstress to get in well with the new queen and like try to get the king's ear to like let them go. And it's okay. I'm 30% of the way through and it's all right. She's so trusting. She's just like her aunt is like she lives in an abbey. She's like, listen, don't tell anyone who you are. She's telling like multiple people. They're like, who are you? She's like, oh, I'm here to visit my 7 brothers in the tower. And then, I don't know, I have a very hard time with religion in novels where it's just like, I'll pray to God for guidance, I'll pray to God for a miracle, and I'm like, okay, or like get up and do something about it. And she's just so naive, and so I am having a hard time with her a little bit, but it's only like 330 pages, so I've got less than 2 hours left on the Kindle book. And then I do also really want to get to Lore by Alexandra Bracken, which is longer than I thought it was. It's like 480 pages, but I really want to get to that, as well as The Project by Courtney Summers and City of the Plague God. I don't know who it's by. I'll let you know once I pick it up. Those are kind of my 4 main ones, and then if I finish those, then I'll go forward with more, because I think I've got 3 more that come out in January, maybe 2, maybe 4, in that range. I'm gonna start my reading because it just hit midnight, and I will chat with you once I've made some more progress. Hi guys, I'm 40% of the way through the book and I'm just not liking it. It's like, usually I know her books do have an underlying theme of religion, but usually it's mentioned like every once in a while. This is like every other sentence is like, I pray to God, God be willing, God, 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 and it's just like too much. It's too much. She's also an idiot, and I can see exactly where this is all going with the 2 guys, and the insta love is just so there. It's just like, oh my God, like it makes no sense. Any of the people's feelings, like hers, the 2 guys, the love triangle. Ugh. So I'm just not into it, like at all. I am 134 pages of the way through though, and my rule for myself is if I get 50% of the way through a book or over 100 pages, I count it, because that still is a fair amount of time that was taken up. So I'm gonna count it. I'm gonna give it like I mean, like, it's not a bad book, so I think I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's just not for me, and pick up Lore. But I'm gonna go get a glass of water and I will chat with you all. What I think Lore is about is a Medusa retelling. If that turns out not to be the case, I will check back in with you. But if it is the case, then I will check back in. Once I've made some progress. Hi guys, it's 1:20 and I'm like 65 pages into Lore and I'm gonna go to bed. I'm so tired and I think I'm running out of space on my camera anyways. So I know what it's about. I'm gonna have to tell you later because... Hi guys, so it is morning now. It's 9:20 and I have been reading, but I came down here, my dad's skiing, so I came down to the living room, got some breakfast and some coffee, and I thought I would go over what Lore is about. So I do have a better understanding of the story, and this is about a world where Zeus wanted to discipline, not really discipline, I can't think of the word right now, these 9 gods. And so for 7 days every 7 years, the gods become mortal, and there are different houses of hunters based on ancient heroes like Achilles and others, and like and they are able to kill the gods. And if you kill a god, you become the god until you're then killed the next 7 years, after the next 7 years, and someone else takes your place. So you are immortal until that 7-day gap where you then become mortal. Our main character, Lore, she is part of one of these families. She's the last one of her family because her whole family was killed off by who is now Ares, and she is approached by the actual goddess Athena, one of the last ones left, and an old friend to try and take him down. And I'm really enjoying it. I am a little, like, my Kindle shows that I'm still at like 4.5 hours left, like, but it has always showed that. So I'm just gonna ignore what that's saying because I don't know, like, how can I still be 4.5 hours? But I'm enjoying it. I really like the writing. I like Lore as a main character. I think she's very capable. She wanted out of this life, and I feel like she was immortal at one point, but I don't know like what she was or who she was, because like, I don't know, like I feel like she keeps referencing things from her past that makes it sound like she was mortal, but I might be totally wrong. She just, like, someone said like, you'd still be a great Fury, and I'm like, oh, was she? I don't know how that works, but hopefully it'll all be revealed. I don't know if this is a series or a standalone. Honestly, it feels like it could go maybe either way, but I'm really pumped to keep reading. So I'm gonna sit down, eat some breakfast, drink my coffee, and read, and I'll talk to you all once I've made some more progress. All right, I'm 144 pages in, and I'm really liking it. I'm having a blast. I really love the world. Like, it takes place in our world, but I love the mythology aspect. Like, Alexandra Bracken has really thought this through, and it is a little bit info dumpy, but you definitely need it, or else I would be very confused. Like, there's a guide at the beginning, and definitely read that, but it's just really, I mean, it's really fascinating. I really love what she did. And I really like Lore, and I love Castor, who's like her childhood friend. And I have a hard time with like, and I don't know if this is gonna be the case, but I'm assuming it's gonna be friends to lovers. And I usually have a hard time with friends to lovers because you don't feel that relationship building. Like, usually it's kind of like, oh, we've been friends forever, you haven't seen that part, and then they fall in love, and it feels insta-lovey. Even though it's not, it's probably the opposite of insta-love because they've been friends for so long. Because you're reading it, like, starting with them falling in love, it feels so insta-lovey. That's my issue. But this one, they haven't seen each other in like 7 years, so they have much to catch up on, and it might not be friends to lovers. I honestly don't know. I'm just assuming it is. And if it is gonna be the case, I think I'm gonna really like it because we also get kind of flashbacks. Not really flashbacks, it's just like 10 years ago, and you read what happens. And so it's like that kind of like cements it. And I'm just really liking it. I really like their dynamic. I'm really interested to see what happens next. I'm on part 2. I'm 30% of the way through it. It's 10:40. I had like a 30-minute call with my mom that was really like, oh my god, like she had stuff to talk about, and I was just like, oh my god, like I just want to be reading. But I'm gonna continue reading. I don't know when my dad's getting home, but I'm going to read as much as possible. We might cross-country ski today, and if that's the case, I'm gonna listen to The Answer Is by Alex Trebek, which is my first audiobook I'm gonna listen to this month. Yeah, so I will never not be reading when doing stuff, hopefully driving, or I have to go to the store to get some food, and I'm just gonna continue, like, listen to my audiobook the whole time. But that is for later, and I'm gonna get back to reading, and I will talk to you all later. All right, it is like 12:17. I'm 51% of the way through Lore, and I'm really still liking it. I just thought I'd update you once more. I think my dad's on his way home, so I don't know the next time I'll be able to update you besides to say that I finished the book. So I thought I would update you again. I do really, Lore, just like, she's aware of her faults, and like, she's got anger, a little bit of anger issues, so she'll like resort to it, but then she'll immediately back off and be like, sorry, like, you know. And she literally, like, she was like, God, she's like, I'm so bad with my anger. She immediately apologizes, which I really like, because people have faults, I get that, but she acknowledges them and she'll apologize. She'll try to like make it right, and that I don't find in a lot of heroes, like heroines and heroes of novels. Protagonists, I guess, was the best way to put that. They usually like refuse to believe in their faults until like the very end, then they do like a half-hearted attempt at making it better, and you're supposed to be okay with it. But this is like, she's a great main character. I'm really liking her. I like all of our supporting characters, and I don't know, there might be someone else if Alexandra Bracken decides to go the gay route. Because her best friend is gay. Lore's best friend is gay. And I think he's gonna get with another character, unless there's no romance at all and I'm just trying to connect all these dots. But if she makes both of her main characters gay, then Lore could have a different romantic interest than Castor. And I'd be into both of them, honestly. I'm okay with either. I always love it when they make it gay, but I also really like Castor. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna just get back to reading, and I don't know when I'll be able to update you again, but I'll talk to you later. Hi guys, it is 4:15 and I am 87% of the way through Lore. I went for a cross-country ski and I listened to most of The Answer Is by Alex Trebek. It's actually really good. It's very funny. I wasn't expecting it to be so witty, but I'm enjoying it. I have like an hour and 12 minutes left, but I listened to it on like 2.5 speed, so I have like 29 actual minutes left. So I'm gonna try and also finish that today. My Kindle is low on battery and I do have the charger, but I kind of want to leave it to charge. So instead of after Lore reading another arc, I think I'm going to pick up Rosemary and Rue by Seanan McGuire, and then after that, if I still have time, pick up another arc, a shorter arc. And if not, then I'm going to call this a slight fail. I don't know why. I've been reading most of the day. It's just Lore is taking me so much longer than I thought. Like, even when it was almost 500 pages, I thought I was going to be able to read it faster, but I'm not. But I am really enjoying it. I'm like, we are in the thick of it. I'm so excited to see what happens. I still like don't know if this is going to be a series or not, because honestly, it feels like it could end this book, but it also feels like it could be a duology, depending on how it ends. But I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna finish it and I will check back in with you once I've done so. Hi guys, it is 5:05 and I just finished Lore. I really liked it. It's a standalone, which is really fun. I didn't think it was going to be. Oh, it was nice to just be like one and done, and I really, really liked it. I don't know the rating I'm gonna give it yet, but I mean, between a 4 and a 5 for sure, maybe even a 5. I loved the idea. I loved our characters. Yeah, I think it was really great. I've enjoyed all of Alexandra Bracken's books. You know, The Darkest Minds was cliche, but dystopian, you know, during that time. But then I really liked Passenger and Wayfarer, and now this one. Yeah, I think it was really good. So yeah, really happy about that. Next book I'm gonna pick up is gonna be Rosemary and Rue. I'm gonna let the Kindle charge, because I'm kind of just like stuck to the outlet with that. And it'll be nice to like get away from a screen and read a book. This is like 348 pages and mass market paperback pages, so you know, it's gonna fly by. And I'm really excited. This is about a half-fae named October who was like given, like, she has to figure out who killed Countess Evening Winterrose because of some sort of curse. Yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that this is going to be like the female version of the Dresden Files, because the Dresden Files had so much potential but so much misogyny and like sexism, and I'm hoping that with her being a main character and with this being written by a woman, I'm hoping it's gonna work out a lot better. But Lore, I'm thinking definitely a 5 out of 5 stars, and I will chat with you once I've made some progress in Rosemary and Rue. Hi everyone, it's almost midnight. And I have 100 pages left in Rosemary and Rue, so I think we can call this a failure. I'm tired, I'm going to bed. But this is about a girl named October Day, or a woman named October Day, in her 30s or 40s, honestly. And she has a family, and she's half-fae, but one day she's cursed, and she falls into this koi pond and turns into a koi for 14 years. She comes out, and this one fae helped her a lot, and that fae ends up dead. And that fae had called and left a voicemail binding her to finding the killer. And if she doesn't, she might die. I don't know. I think so. I think it's like if she doesn't find the killer in a certain amount of time, she dies. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's fast-paced. There's a romance in here that I'm not the hugest fan of. It's very toxic, but like she knows it is. But I don't know. I'm really hoping someone else is endgame. Someone that we know. That would be kind of a hate to love situation, which I love. But yeah, it's fun. It's fast-paced. It is pretty much, I mean, not like exactly like a female Dresden Files, but she was a private investigator, which is what Harry Dresden was, kind of. I mean, he was like a wizard for hire, but he kind of was a PI. but it's fun. Yeah, it's definitely not as good as like some of her other stuff, but it's a fun, fast-paced, like first novel of a huge supernatural detective series. I don't know. I just know the first one she's trying to figure out this woman's death. I'm just so tired. This was an abject failure. I'm gonna try and finish this tomorrow and maybe one more book. Hopefully. I've got all my I've got all the books I need to read this month like planned out for the weeks. And so like if I can finish this one tomorrow and read another book through Saturday and Sunday, then I'll be ahead of my game. I'm starting a new diet and it's a lot. It's a lot and I'm hungry, but I'm not gonna eat anything. So instead I'm gonna go to sleep so I can wake up and just have breakfast. So good night and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And this was gonna be its own vlog. It is not going to be anymore. It's just gonna bulk up a 4-day reading vlog, 3-day reading vlog. So yeah, but I finished Lore today, which was amazing. I ended up giving it 5 out of 5 stars because it was so good and just so inventive. Loved it. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Hi everyone, it is Saturday. I'm at my mom's house. I've got a puppy here and we are just hanging out. I'm gonna get her up on the couch. Oh, and I just finished Rosemary and Rue and I enjoyed it. Oh, don't you whine at me. I enjoyed it. It was, excuse me. It was fine. Like I could see where it will get better. For a first book, it was interesting and I really liked the dynamics and like the Fae courts because I feel like every author does it differently. And so it's just like very, you know, it's just, it always feels original. The murder, I mean, it kind of took a back seat, but stop that. But I don't know what it took a back seat to. Like, I mean, the whole time she's trying to figure out this murder, but I feel like she's not looking for clues. She's looking for just the person. So like, it felt like, you know, she was making all these old connections after being turned into a fish that it didn't feel like she was actually looking for suspects. So when the murderer kind of like, when she figured out who it was a little bit like, okay, like that's unsurprising, but also it didn't feel like, oh my gosh. She's got my camera case. It didn't feel like red herrings were involved. Like she had no idea who it was, and all of a sudden it just kind of like, oh, here it is. And I was like, okay, so it just kind of felt a little anticlimactic. So I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I also finished The Answer Is by Alex Trebek, and I really liked it. He did kind of jump around a bit, which I find in memoirs happens a lot, where they're not an author. And so they're just kind of writing down like their experience and like when they think of something. But I enjoyed it and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. But my friend is gonna come over. We've both been quarantining, it's all good. And we're gonna maybe watch the new Charlie's Angels and FaceTime her partner. But we might, I don't know, that might not happen. So we might just hang out. Hi everyone, it is 5:40 on Saturday and I've got some news. So I finished Memento. I was just sitting here and I didn't know what I wanted to read, so I picked up Memento by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, which is like a prequel to Illuminae, and it's like kind of telling how Aiden, which is the AI, kind of went crazy. I really enjoyed it. There was a big instance of insta love that I wasn't a big fan of, but everything else I really liked. And my dog's barking, so I have to go. And then after that, I tried to pick up Lava Red and Feather Blue, but just the formatting was not good on the Kindle, like at all. It was like there were no capitalizations. Like it was just like everything was lowercase, which drove me crazy, and stuff was kind of hard to read. And I'm just not that interested in the story, so I did decide to put it down. So for ARC, I can't remember the card, but the card that I pulled it for TBR cards was an ARC. I'm gonna go with City of the Plague God, which I decided to pick up. I'm 13% the way through, and I realized this isn't a Mahabharata retelling. I advertised as a Mahabharata retelling. It's not, it's an Epic of Gilgamesh retelling, which I'm so sorry. That was, yeah, I don't know what happened there. Which I don't know what the Epic of Gilgamesh is. I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that it didn't end satisfactorily, like he's like looking for something and he never finds it, but that might have been something else, but I'm pretty sure that was the Epic of Gilgamesh. But yeah, so our main character lives in LA and his brother recently died and he works at his family's diner, and some demons show up and are like trying to take him back, but then this girl who's at his school shows up and saves him, and I think that's all I've gotten to so far, but I think that kind of spurs on everything else. But it's 5:40. I don't know, I'm just hanging out with the puppy. It's dark out. I should have taken her for a walk, but I napped from 4:30 to 5 because she was napping as well. I learned that there's a Great American Baking Show. If you know where to find that, let me know, because I can't find it anywhere. And I kind of want to watch it. I hear it's really bad, but I still want to watch it. There's season 1 on Amazon Prime, but like you have to like pay for it and like buy it, and I don't want to do that. So let me know. Hi everyone, it's 11:35 on Sunday. I didn't update you like at all today. It's because I didn't really read until right now. Couple of inaccuracies. So it is a retelling of the Epic of, it's not really a retelling of the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's almost like a sequel. Like, I don't know, like Gilgamesh is like an actual character. Like it's not like our main character is Gilgamesh. So yeah, and it takes place in New York. I don't know why I thought it took place in LA. But yeah, it takes place in New York. Mostly Manhattan, but then also like other worlds and such. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I liked our main characters a lot. I think I'm gonna give 4 out of 5 stars. It didn't like wow me. I also don't know if this is gonna be a series or not. It ended on a pretty good, it ended well, but also like slightly open, where there could be like a sequel, like just one. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. But 4 out of 5 stars, and I thought I would wrap up the vlog here. Oh, and then I guess I can just give you an actual synopsis of the book. So The City of the Plague God, it's about this boy who is attacked by these demons, and he finds out that the gods are real and they're here and back and alive. And his brother stole something from Iraq that this god of plagues and famine wants. And he teams up with the goddess of love and war and her daughter to stop him. And it was good. That's all I'm gonna say, because I feel like anything else would be a little bit of a spoiler. But Gilgamesh is mentioned in the synopsis, so like the fact that he's a character is not a spoiler. But I enjoyed it. So without further ado, let's just wrap up what I read. So the first book that I read was actually a DNF, and that was Court of Swans by Melanie Dickerson. I wanted to enjoy this, but it was just too religious for me, and our main character was just too naive and stupid. I don't think it's like, I think it can be for some people. Like, I don't think it's like an actual bad book. It just wasn't for me, so I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. And I got to like 100-something pages, so I did count it as something I read. Then I read Lore by Alexandra Bracken, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. So good, so unique. I think it'll be out by the time this goes up. I might be wrong. I don't quite know when this is going up yet, but I really enjoyed it and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Next book I read was Rosemary and Rue by Seanan McGuire, which I enjoyed, and I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I finished The Answer Is by Alex Trebek, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. And then Memento by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I DNF'd another book, which was Lava Red, Feather Blue. One, because the formatting as an ARC was really weird. There were no capitals, like there's no capitalization, which really, really annoyed me. And it was just like too hard to read. And then I just didn't like the idea enough to like power through it. But I can't really judge it at all. And then I just finished City of the Plague God by Sarwat Chadha, which I'm going to give a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video. Bye.